Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking back at that Cape Town City game and saying who were the standout performers. Right off the bat, I am going to mention these players. I'm going to mention Vuma. Say what you want about Vuma, but he saved us last night. And Msimango, one of the other people I have to mention who had a very solid performance. But you know what? Before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe, man, Bafetu. Come on, man. Yeah? Go lonely, Lana, in the 6,000. It's only 10,000. But anyway, guys, let's get into it. So, mina, gahle, I'm going to be very real. Vuma, look. I honestly think you outperformed yourself yesterday. You releasing the ball on time, I think you did it better than other games. In you finding players, I think you did it better than other games. There is still room for improvement for Rob Vuma, but I think overall he had a better game than generally. And he saved us on a few occasions, so well done to that. My only thing that I think everyone knows that I mentioned is that Darwin Núñez shot. If that Darwin Núñez shot was on target, Darwin Núñez was going to score. Because Vuma was going to get caught out like he did get caught out in the first game where Darwin Núñez hit him in the near post. Luckily this time Darwin Núñez, Gonzalez didn't hit it on target. But anyway, Vuma, I'm going to give a 7. So a solid performance from Vuma. 7 is I think I'll give him a 7. The next one I'll give is Edmilson Dove. I'm also going to give him a 6.5 to 7. Solid performance by him. He really wasn't troubled based on how he was performing. Headed the ball well. Like solid 7 out of 10 performance. I think he played really well in the game. Could he have done better? Yes, but I think what was needed from him was done, and it was done to a high degree. So well done on that. Miguel, I'm going to give a 6.5. Highline, I still worry about this highline. We were lucky that in this first half, they didn't play that, what is his name, Chiweza or something, whatever that guy who wears number 21 from Namibia. That pacey guy, if he had started the game and played like a solid 80 minutes, I think he would have gotten a chance. But luckily for us, Mushin put that guy on the bench and we really didn't. He only got the part of the second half to really come at Chiefs. But you know what? In the second half, Chiefs was really on the ball more and Cape Town City was sitting back. So he really didn't get that chance, even though there were flashes of when he was running out. But yeah, so Miguel, he just looked like he was struggling against him, but luckily offsides and everything were working in our favor. So that's why I'm going to give him 6.5. Simango, 7.5. I am giving him 7.5 because he was solid. He was solid when headering. He was solid when playing the ball out from the back. And that last-ditch save that he made was like one of the best tackles we've seen this whole season. Like good commitment, good power, good motivation, good confidence. He looked like a real leader on the field. You know, this is the Simango that I've been telling you guys week in, week out to be like, I get that Miguel and Dudley were doing well, but that guy, my actual combination that I wanted to see was actually Msimango and Dudley. But now that Dudley is said to be out for the season, it's good that people are getting to see what Msimango is about when he has that confidence. I don't know what happened in the beginning of the season, but I guess it was the Miguel factor. Miguel has a very big leadership complex. So when Miguel is on the field, he does things that he doesn't flow with the game. Miguel is not a player who flows. He has good anticipation. And that's something that Dudley and Simango tend to not be the greatest at. They are good at it, but not at the level of Simango. So, of Miguel. Miguel has good awareness. So he may be slow, but he knows how to cut out certain passes, pressure certain players. So that's the one thing Miguel is good at. That's why his one-on-one battles he tends to win, just because he can anticipate plays. But other than that, solid performance by Simang. Next one is Solomon's. Also another solid performance. Defensively was not troubled. He marked Rhodes out of the game. He helped us in attack. The only thing that Solomon's becomes a question mark is that the way he's playing doesn't seem like it can be sustainable for 90 minutes, and it doesn't seem like it can be sustainable for like let's say 20 plus games in a row, or 25. It's like Solomon's doesn't seem like the player, the way he's playing now, that can last 30 games. Like the 30 games we have in the league, I don't think he can last those 30 games. And that is purely based on the fact that he does a lot of running. So there are moments where I'm happy in this game. I saw a bit more where he sits. He just sits and focuses on defending. But because of how good he is in attack, you want him in attack, but then at the same time, his recovery is also on another level. So Solomons can be at the front with the strikers, but at the same time, you find him being the last defender, blocking Abo Roads and all of this. So that's the one thing I love about Solomons. I just don't know how Nabi can work on him to make his game more sustainable, like just to lessen his workload, because sometimes it feels like he runs himself out of the game, or he runs himself into injuries, and he tends to have like hamstring injuries, etc. So he reminds me of like a Dupree, but the difference is that Dupree doesn't find himself often having to be in defense. He's always in attack, so it limits the running in defense. But yeah, anyway, Solomon's had a decent performance as well. I'm going to give him a 6.5 to 7. Solid performance. Thabo Cele, I'm going to give a 7. There are things that he could have done better, yes, in this game. It's another solid performance, yes. But him and Ngobo were losing balls in the first half. They were doing uncharacteristic things. I don't know if it's the combination between him and Ngobo, but the one thing that is very glaring is that Thabo Cele and Ngobo seem like they're the better fit, but the only problem is that Ngobo is seeming like he's still behind. So what it makes you realize is that Thabo Cele is still in need of a real partner, and that partner does not seem like it will be Ngobo or it will be Matlo. But I will say this: Ngobo is still the better player out of the ones I've seen so far playing against Thabo Cele, because Ngobo helps us play through the middle, and he helps release passes. He helps create chances. The only thing that Ngobo is now missing is his finishing boots and just his comfort on the ball. Because sometimes he would pass the ball unnecessarily so to the wrong person, or sometimes he would just pass to the opponents. He would make the mad mistake. So I don't understand about what's happening in the center mid position at Chiefs. It's either you are Thabo Cele and you can do it, play it well, or you are mad. Tetra, etc. People who just give away the ball. So maybe the last piece that has not been tried yet is obviously going to be Castillo. Castillo is that last player, I feel, who we have in the center mid who has not been tried with Thabo Cele. We have seen almost all these combinations except maybe Tetra, but we know what Tetra will offer. Tetra is more defensive, but we think Thabo Cele needs someone who is also creative, but also can contribute defensively. Ngobo has been looking much better defensively. So Thabo Cele 7, Ngobo 6. Ngobo didn't have a bad game, but he lost a lot of balls. So for example, the balls that he lost were important moments in the game that could have resulted in chances, or resulted in Cape Town City getting the ball in a difficult position. So those are the chances that Ngobo was involved in. Had Ngobo been more comfortable on the ball, I think Chiefs would have controlled that game a bit more, and the game would have slowed down for the Chiefs players, because at some point it felt like our players were playing at 120 miles per hour. So I that's one thing I wanted to say. The day Ngobo just gets comfortable on the ball, and the thing is that we can't wait for him. He needs to now make a decision. And what scares me the most is that Nabi and them tend to not have patience with the players, with certain players. For example, Nabi will have patience with Matt more than he will have patience with Ngobo. But I feel like they should just be more patient with this Thabo Cele combination until Castillo comes back and we can see what Castillo can do. But yeah, the next one, Umdu Shabalala as the 10. Yes, he missed the chances. Yes, he did miss the chances. But other than that, I'll say he had an okay performance. I mean, say it's okay if you remove the miss. He had an okay performance. But because that miss exists, then it looks like it's a bad performance because it was basically a really bad miss and it basically lost us 3 points. So taking all of that into account, I can't give him a rating in like 6 and above. So I'm just going to give him a 5.5. Serino, also 5.5. Not himself, really not himself. But like I said in the previous video, I think the one reason Serino is not himself, this thing of playing him on the right, it's not his strong point. It has never been his strong point. I don't think Serino is good on the right. I still think he's best on the left. And I still think Lollipop is best on the right. As good as being on the left allows Lollipop to take certain shots from the box. But like I said yesterday, is that Lollipop doesn't get close enough to the box. So if he doesn't do it, he won't get enough of those shots off. But Serino can. Serino does like getting close to the box and making those plays, etc. So that's why I still prefer Serino to play on the left and Lollipop to play on the right. But yeah, other than that, Serino 5.5, Lollipop, let's say 6 to 6.5, depending on what you want to give him. The next one is Dupree. Difficult game for him. When a team is sitting back, it tends to not be a game that Dupree will enjoy because he can't find space behind the defenders. So because Cape Town City really came to not lose or play counter football, it didn't play to Dupree's strength. So he just had a bad performance. Not bad, but not much chances were given to him. So 5.5. Sub players, I can't really give much ratings to the sub players. Matlo maybe is one I can give. He had a 5.5 performance. He came in, but he didn't really improve us, but he didn't make us bad, if that even makes sense. But he didn't really improve the team. Like he didn't create as much as we wanted for Ngobo, but he didn't lose the ball as much as Ngobo. So that's the difficulty of that situation. That Ngobo lost the ball but created. Matlo didn't create a lot of chances, but he didn't lose the ball as much. So it's like they were cancelling each other out in a way. And then I don't have much ratings for Frosler, but Frosler had a decent showing. I just said I don't like him chipping the ball. And then Ranga Chivavero, if I have to even mention him, Ranga was a rating of 1. Like Ranga's rating for Chiefs was the fact that he came in for Chiefs to play for Chiefs. But in terms of like an actual rating that I can talk about his contribution, he honestly didn't contribute to Chiefs. Honestly at this point, I want to just see Hlongwane. Like, can we just give Hlongwane these minutes that Ranga is wasting? Like, it's not even I'm not even here to joke around, but like we are at the end of the season and we've seen what we need to see with Ranga. Can we not throw in Hlongwane and give him a chance? And I'm not saying like the last 10 minutes, if it can't go to an experienced guy who's failing us, then if it can't go to that, rather give it to a youngster who will just give us good energy, good runs off the ball, and maybe we'll sneak in a goal here and there. That is what I want at this point, because this thing of us forcing Ranga to be a striker that we want won't happen. And what I think Nabi and them are trying to do, why they keep wanting to bring Ranga, is that Nabi wants to play this tall striker who's going to hold up the ball, etc. But Ranga can't play that game. And because Ranga can't play that game, it really isn't benefiting Nabi. So I'm saying for the moment that we don't have Tashrik Morris, let's just play Dupree. When Duba comes, play Duba. Bring in Hlongwane to get some game time, especially during the week. Let's do that rather than forcing Ranga to do things he can't do. That's all I have to say. Amakhosi.